Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last class, we talked about JavaScript and we closed to our JavaScript unit. There is a question here from Ramana regarding analytical analysis path framework and smart filter business application in SAP Fiori. Will it be covered in advanced course? So Ramana, here you go the answer. Please watch my YouTube video about types of Fiori app. You will understand which course will cover what. So please go to YouTube. I have uploaded. So for these kind of questions only to answer, I have uploaded a YouTube video of types of Fury apps. So just search for types of Fury apps on YouTube and you will get this video I have uploaded. You can see 1 day ago. Just go inside this. This is where you will find the list of all the details. Please watch this particular YouTube video. You will get a fair idea of what the types of Fury apps are and which course will cover which type of Fury app. In detail, it is explained. You can see it here. All the types of Fury apps in a nutshell. I have explained all the varieties of Fury apps which do exist today, which category they belong, what is their future, what is the type, what is that required, what is the technology, which course it will cover. Everything I grouped in a single video to answer this type of questions. It would take for you about 30 minutes to watch this video and then you will get a fair idea of what is doing what. I'm just pasting the link into the chat window. You can just bookmark this link. This is why I always recommend you to subscribe my YouTube channel so that you will not miss out these important discussions which I'm posting on YouTube. So for every one of you, I'm posting on YouTube a lot of interesting knowledge, a lot of good knowledge for free so that you will not miss out on this. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have uploaded this video to just answer these type of questions. The smart filter application, analytical application, why they are created, how they are created, which course they are created. Everything is discussed in that. Please watch this video. Let's move on now and discuss our next unit. So we saw in the last class how to create and work with JavaScript. We have also looked at external JavaScript. If you just check out, external JavaScript is nothing but about moving all the JavaScript code in a separate file altogether and then referencing this file as part of your HTML page. This is what external JavaScript was. If you look at external JavaScript concept, it can also be considered as a library. How come? How come? So you saw that we have created a .js file separately and then we reference this .js file as part of our HTML page. So what we are exactly doing here, we are referencing the .js file as part of our HTML page. This is what we are doing. Now if you look at this .js file, this includes functions. So many functions are there inside. Yeah. So if I'm not wrong, I can call this a collection of functions, isn't it? So guys, what a collection of functions becomes? Anybody? In the first session, in our first class of SAP UI5, I told you an important line in the demo session. What is something called a collection of function becomes? Anybody? What is collection?
Class,
Perfect answer. Hemendra has got it right. Geeta has got it right. Perfect answer. You have seen the video properly. Pawan has got it right. It's called library. Perfect answer. What an answer, guys. Thank you so much for remembering it. You guys are really watching my videos properly. So, library, it called a library. So this is a library. It's a collection of functions. And this library I'm referencing. Now imagine this library is part of my local computer. What about this library exists in cloud somewhere on internet? Yeah, possible. So that is also possible that a library to exist on internet. I can reference that library from internet as well. That's what exactly jQuery is. What is jQuery? jQuery is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library which is available to you for free. Yes, guys, jQuery. What is jQuery? It is a JavaScript library. It is a JavaScript library. It is available for free to use. Provides lots of functions to consume. This is a jQuery. Provides lots of functions to consume. The main motto of jQuery is write less and do more. You have to write less code and do more. Just to take an example, if you remember, we have written a code to change the CSS of all our boxes. How many lines of code we have written for that? We've written almost 4 to 5 lines of code. First we did get element by class name. Then we loop out each of the element. And then we change the background color of each of the element manually, right? Line by line. It took about 4 to 5 lines of code. What do you think with jQuery, how much time it would take to change that code? It just takes one single line. That's it. Write less and do more. I'm going to show you that in the system. Don't worry. Let's move on. Why jQuery? What is the reason we are learning jQuery? What is the reason? The main reason for jQuery is jQuery is industry standard. Be it Microsoft, be it Google, be it Netflix, be it SAP, they all use jQuery in their frameworks as the base. That's why we are learning jQuery. It is an industry standard used everywhere. It's easy to learn and it is free. Yeah, this is the main advantage. It is free. It's an open source library. So SAP UI5 framework is also based on jQuery. SAP UI5 was built when SAP is building SAP UI5. They have used the jQuery also as part of SAP UI5. Okay. Now the second question comes: how to use jQuery? How to get this jQuery library? How to use this jQuery library? How do we download this jQuery library? Where do we get download this jQuery library? To download and get this jQuery library, the first important thing what we need to do, one option we have is download and reference. Like we are doing our local JS file which we created, and this local JS file we are referencing, so it's available in local computer. Another is reference it from CDN. CDN stands for content distribution, or you can also call delivery network. Content delivery network or content distribution network, which is available. You can download, or sorry, you can reference the jQuery directly from internet from this content distribution network directly. You don't have to download this, but the precondition will be you should be always all the time connected to internet. Okay. So option number 2, reference from content CDN, content distribution network or content delivery network. You can reference it. So let's see first of all how to reference jQuery as part of our page. How to reference this JavaScript library. Yeah. So I come back. You can see it our page. Just close these things and just go on the top. And you see this is magic.js, which we referred the other day in JS demo. Yeah, we did that here. SRC property, this JS file, locally we did that. So this is what exactly we are doing. Magic.js here is actually a JavaScript library for you, which has collection of functions. And that is what you referenced here with SRC code. If you remember that day, what did we do? Those who are joining my class for first time, you guys have missed about 7 to 8 classes. Please watch those classes from our training blog, without which it is difficult for you to survive further. So my humble request, Please park your questions. Please watch the classes which were covered already in the past. Please watch the video of those classes so that you will not feel disconnected. Okay. So this is what we did in the last class, referencing a JavaScript file here as with SRC property. This is very important. We did. Yeah. Now, next important thing, what we are doing today, we want to reference a jQuery again. So guys, what do you use? Which tag do I use to reference a JavaScript file? Anybody? Which tag do I use to reference a JavaScript file? SRC. Incorrect answer. SRC is not a tag. SRC is SRC a tag?
Script,
Is SRC a tag?
href,
Sorry?
script tag.
Perfect answer.
href.
We use script tag. सर ऊपर ही लिखा हुआ है आपके, देखो यही लिखा हुआ है, वो भी नहीं बता पा रहे हो आप। यही लिखा हुआ है, एग्जैक्टली यही तो लिखना है वापिस। दिस इज हाउ वी रेफरेंस अ जावास्क्रिप्ट फाइल, जस्ट ऊपर ही लिखा हुआ है। मेनी टाइम्स it is just there, it is just there nearby you. You don't know what you have, guys. Each one of you is billionaire. Each one of you is billionaire, guys. You don't even know. You don't even know. Now you say, Anubhav, what are you talking, Anubhav? Don't cheat me. How can I be billionaire? It is difficult to pay my child school fees at the end of month. My account is almost empty. How can you say I'm billionaire? Each one of you billionaire, guys. You will not believe me. You will not believe me. Each one of you is billionaire. Each one of you is a billionaire. Each one of you is billionaire. Once upon a time, I went into a hotel. The name of the hotel is Talk in the Dark. This hotel, when you enter, they have Gupandera. It's all black. There is no light inside this hotel. It's all black. You have never ever seen this. It's blacker than black. You never ever seen this kind of blackness and darkness. That black hotel. You go inside this hotel, and then first of all, the moment you enter inside hotel, they will give you some fruits. Okay, in your hand they will give you some fruits, and you have to touch the fruits, and you have to tell which fruit is this. Move next, they will ask you to touch some frames, touch some artist frames, and then they will ask you which frame is this. Move on, they will ask you to play cricket into the darkness. So you have to play cricket. You have to listen. Just by listening to the ball, you have to play and make the shots. You have to throw the ball. You have to do that. Okay. And then next, when you go on, finally there's time for dinner. They will give you dinner, and now you have to start eating into the darkness. It is very difficult to eat without light. You don't even know where is your own mouth. You have to touch all the small vessels which you have in your plate to find out where is vegetable, where is chapati, where is dal. You have to touch. It's very difficult to eat in this such a darkness. I could not even finish my dinner. I came halfway through out. And that day I realized the power, the use of my eyes. Imagine somebody who doesn't have eyes, what kind of life they are living. Imagine scientists in England, they've started evaluating the cost of human organs. And believe me, half of the cost, they've reached half, and the cost reached 800 billion. 800 billion it reached just by at the half. They stopped it. 800 billion in the middle they stopped it because they could not further count. This is the cost. Billions का शरीर लेके घूम रहे हो. बिलियंस का शरीर लेके करोड़ों का शरीर लेके घूम रहे हो, लेकिन घर में पड़े रहते हो, टीवी के सामने बैठे रहते हो, व्हाट्सएप करते रहते हो, लोगों की सुनते रहते हो, वाइफ की गालियां खाते रहते हो, लोग तुमको झूठा बोल बोल के डिमोरलाइज करते रहते हैं. बिलियंस का शरीर लेके घूम रहे हो, अपने आप को बाहर उठ के चैलेंज नहीं करते हो, लोगों की बात सुनते रहते हो. डोंट चैलेंज, यू आर नॉट चैलेंजिंग योर सेल्फ. यू डोंट नो व्हाट यू हैव विद यू. बिलियंस का शरीर लेके घूम रहे हो. ये जो हाथ है, ये जो पैर है, ये तुम्हारे दिस 4 inches ब्रेन, इसको फीड नहीं करते हो 4 inches ब्रेन को। आईफोन में पैसा बर्बाद करते हो, 60-60 हजार रुपए का आईफोन खरीद लेते हो। फर्स्ट आईफोन मैं लेके आता हूँ, फर्स्ट आईफोन मैं लेके आऊंगी, ऑडी मैं लेके आऊंगी, ऑडी मैं खरीद के लाऊंगा। बिलियंस का शरीर लेके घर में बैठे रहते हो, लोगों की बातें सुन के अपने आप को डिमोटिवेट करते रहते हो। डोंट वर्क, करेज नहीं दिखाते, यू डोंट हैव द करेज टू फाइट बैक। छोटा सा आउटपुट नहीं आता UI5 का, प्रैक्टिस रोक देते हो। अनुभव, my output is not coming, I stopped my practice. What is that, man? You were never like that. You were never like that. बिलियंस का शरीर लेके घूम रहे हो। Why are you doing that? You got to fight. You got to fight. See what happens. You got to practice. You got to work hard. You will realize the day you will lose your health. That day you will realize what I had earlier. You will not realize now. You will realize the day you will lose your health. It is very unfortunate. I see people, they spend lot of money on luxury items. Every day they're just doing online shopping and buying something. Without any reason they're buying something. But they are not feeding to their mind. ये 4 inches का mind जिससे ये सारा luxury आ रहा है आपके पास में. This 4 inches mind with which you're buying all these luxury items, iPhones, cars, whatever. On that mind you're doing zero investment. घर पे बैठे रहते हो टीवी के सामने. Somebody come to your desk and say, hey, ये UI5 चल रहा है market में. That's it. You don't feed to your mind anything. Parents का शरीर लेके. This is important, guys. Think about it. You got to practice hard, challenge yourself. You have to do that. If you're not doing it, believe me, no Anubhav can teach you. It's 100% challenge. No Anubhav can teach you. I guarantee you, no biggest company you call, even SAP cannot teach you. If you are not putting your efforts, if you are not giving a shit to this guy, if you are not giving a shit to this, if you are not reading these things daily, if you are not practicing daily, believe me, no Anubhav can teach you. I don't have any pill to give it. People who have learned from Anubhav and got settled into a good place, got settled into good products, it is all their hard work. It is all their hard work. I have done nothing. Cool, let's go SRC. That's how we're gonna do this. And now we're gonna put here source. And this source, of course, can come from local computer. It can also come from internet. Let's go. How can we get this source? So I can go back jquery.com. This is the place where you can get it. So jquery.com. And there you go. You can find it out, jquery.com. You can download the jQuery from here. Very straightforward. Reference that in local system, but I would like to show you something interesting, referencing from CDN. Okay, content delivery network. So let's go back to the API download section, and just scroll down, and you will find an option called cross browser. Using jQuery with CDN. Wow, superb! You can see jQuery में CDN से ले आऊंगा. And just to show you guys, let me execute this JavaScript file which we have. So run as web application. It's gonna run my JS demo. Gonna run it into another window just to show you. Yes, F12. Just go to F12. Go to Network tab. Sorry, Sources. In the sources now here you see JS. Can you see magic.js, guys? So magic.js is your external JS file. Remember JS file, external JS file. ये सब load हो गया यहाँ पे. Now you don't see a jQuery right now here. You see there is no jQuery here right now. No jQuery. So you got to load jQuery. So let's go back and put here source. And I'm going to reference the jQuery. So as I told you, Google, Microsoft, and Netflix, they all use jQuery. So they all have built over a period of time their own CDN networks to supply their jQuery. Almost they're all same. It's just that Google have done some more advancement in the jQuery. Now you can see I want to download it from Google CDN. So click on Google CDN. It takes me to the googledeveloper.com. And now You can see the same script tag with src property, guys, to reference jQuery. I just need URL. I take the URL, copy that, come back and just paste the URL over here. Done, guys. jQuery will now be downloaded at runtime from internet automatically. Let us go ahead and test it. Come back, refresh. Voila! You can see it here. ajax.googleapis.com has given you the jQuery min.js. There you go. This is your jQuery library, guys. Google has given you jQuery for free. That's what Google has given to you. Yeah, jQuery has got downloaded to the browser and now you can invoke it. Guys, to invoke jQuery, how do we invoke jQuery? How do we work jQuery? What is the syntax to use jQuery? We always dollar symbol to use jQuery. So what is the syntax? It's dollar dot action. What is action here? Action could be a method. It could be a CSS. It could be an event. Yeah. Let's see some examples. So first example, if you remember, we had done an example where we say magic and you see it's changing the background color of all things, right? This was one example. How many lines of code you have written for that? Anybody? How many lines of code you have written for doing this? Anybody? How many lines of code we have written? Almost how many lines of code we have written to do this? Anyone? How many lines of code you have written to do this? Anyone? How many lines of code I have written to do that? How many lines of code I have written to do that? Let's go to JS file and you see magic happens and you see these many lines of code. कितना line है ये? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines of code I've written to be able to achieve this requirement, isn't it? Guys, to change the box color, how many lines of code? 5 lines of code I've written to do this. You want to really see the magic? Let's comment out this one and let's plug in the jQuery and I'll say dollar symbol dot I want to. Now, guys, important thing I missed out. There's one more important thing. Dollar symbol and then you have again something called selector. This I missed out. Selector, as you all know, in CSS also we saw the power of selector. Selector, if you want to select elements based on ID, what do you use? Anyone? If you want to select an element based on ID, which symbol did you use in CSS unit? Which symbol did you use to use selector based on ID? Anyone? What is the symbol?
Hashtag.
Hashtag. Perfect.
Hashtag.
Very good. Am I taking extra classes for you? Am I taking extra classes for you?
No.
No, na? How come you remember this? How can you remember? How?
Practice.
Practice. See,
Practice.
only with practice he remembers it. I'm not taking extra classes. If he can do, you can easily do it. Next, dot class name for all the class elements based on class name and tag name to select elements based on class tag name. This is what we use. Let's go back. Suppose I want to target all these elements. So I have to check the class name. Let's go and select this. Look at the DOM. And in the DOM, you can see box description. Okay. Box description. There you go. And now we can come and let's go and test it. And there you go. But oops, I missed out dot to indicate it is a class name I am targeting. Dot CSS is the method to change the CSS of all the elements. What do you want to change and with what property you want to change? So now I want to change background color property. And I want to change it to equal. Okay. Now save this. Let's come back and test it, guys. Watch out the magic of jQuery. That's really the magic of jQuery. Let's come back, refresh the page. And now I click this magic button. Watch out here. Boom, there you go. You can see the color of all three boxes with one single click is being changed. How many lines we were writing earlier? How many lines we have written now? Can you tell me? Don't you think it's a clear simplification, clear reuse, clear power of jQuery? Multiple lines of code is replaced with one single line. Clear everybody? What jQuery can really do. That's why majority of the companies are using jQuery as their framework of choice. Now coming next, you can also do another thing. Let me explain your Fundafox for today's class. Very first important point here, we can use chaining in JavaScript. What does the chaining means, guys? What does the chaining mean? Chaining means we can call multiple methods one after another. Okay, we can call multiple methods one after another, and that's called chaining. How? So you can do like this. Suppose document dot get element by id, and this is producing an element. Yeah, so this whole thing is giving you an object. You can do one thing. You can take this object into a variable var c, and then you just c dot value, right? This is what you were doing. You don't need to do that. You can do it in a single line. Whatever this is producing, you can say dot value. This is called chaining. So here, the first part is producing some object or doing something. On top, we are doing the next thing. Yeah, this is called chaining concept in JavaScript. It's there in every programming language. In ABAP also it is there. In object-oriented ABAP, when your method returns some returning parameter, you can make a call to the next subsequent methods. Its concept is there in almost every programming language. So that same thing is there in JavaScript. Why am I telling you this? Because suppose you want to change multiple CSS. Along with the background color, I want to change the foreground color also. I want to change the text color also to maybe black. Yeah. How can we do that? So you don't have to write multiple lines of code. The first line of code, after that you can say dot, second line of code, again call CSS method and say color, comma, and I can say black. Watch out guys, you don't have to write multiple lines. Again, you don't have to write this selected or this thing. Simply do chaining. First method dot second method dot third method dot fourth method. जो भी करना है continuously you can do. That's called chaining concept in JavaScript. Hope it is clear to everybody. Let's talk both the things hand to hand so that we can practice it easy. And now let's refresh and click on magic button. Watch out carefully. You can see the color got changed to black color for the text, and the background color changed to aqua from the yellow color. Clear everybody? This is called chaining concept. Chaining concept is not in just CSS, not just in jQuery. It applies anywhere in JavaScript wherever you like. Okay. So now you see .css, one method, .css, another method. What about some more different things? Let's create another button. So I want to show you a button. On click. I saw a movie in the childhood days called, it was an Anil Kapoor movie. I know if you are a fan of movies like I am. Can you tell me which movie where Anil Kapoor get this wristband? He clicks on this wristband and it get disappear. What is that movie name? Do you remember anyone? It used to come on Doordarshan. Okay, Geeta has got the right answer, Mr. India. So let's create a Mr. India button. And now I can say on. I want to make Mr. India. So let's create a Mr. India function. Let's have fun with programming, guys. Not just boring programming. It's always have to have fun with programming. You will love it. Okay, on Mr. India, what's gonna do? Let's come back to Magic.js. Let's write this function up here. Function on Mr. India. I want to do something Mr. India types. What I want to do, make my box disappear. So dollar and then dot box. That's the super class. That's a class of entire box. I'm saying please select all the elements which is class name as box. Dot hide Mr. India. That says jQuery method hide. It's gonna make the boxes disappear. Let's refresh and I say, hey Mr. India. Boom, there you go. You can see all the boxes are gone in just 1 second. Yeah, that's the hide method, guys, what it can do for us. Okay, so now I want to create another method to make it bring back. So I want to create another method, hey Mugambo, and then let's create on Mugambo, and let's create a function, hey Mugambo, and I'm going to say a repeat process, but this time a reverse process. So say box, and please show me up. Here you go. Save this. Let's come back. Watch out. You're going to get two methods. Hey Mugambo and Mr. India. Let's Mr. India. It's gone. And I'll say Hey Mugambo. And there you go. Mr. India is coming back on click of Hey Mugambo. That's your jQuery methods, guys. That's so powerful, jQuery. You can see one single line of code. Such a powerful line of code, guys. This is jQuery. Another method called hide method, show method. So we saw first method was .css method with jQuery.css method to change the CSS. Second method we saw hide method in jQuery to hide elements, and then next one is show. But you see it's very ruthless, very ruthless. It's immediately hiding my box. It's not soft. I need little softness in hiding. Okay, when it is hiding, it should hide slowly. It should hide elegantly. Yeah, I want it like slowly it should hide. How can I do that? So instead of hide method, let's use another method which is called again my selector. Of course, anything could be selector. Dot fade out. Remember the JavaScript naming convention? First letter is small, next consecutive word, first letter is capital. That applies even in jQuery here. This is a method fade out. And now here you can give a delay in seconds. I want to hide the whole thing in 6 seconds. This delay is given in milliseconds. I want to hide the whole thing in 6 seconds. Slowly. Slow poison. Okay. I want to hide it slowly. One click of Mr. India, the whole thing got slowly disappear. Yeah. Let's try now. Watch out. Slowly. Say Mr. India. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there you go. You can see in 6 seconds, it slowly fade out your entire UI element. That's the fade out method. Anybody, what do you think is a reverse method of fade out? What do you fade in? Perfect answer. Very good. Very good. It's the fade in method, which is a reverse method of fade out. So let's try that out with Hemogambo. So I can say dot box. Very interesting. Fade in. थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाना है गलत हो गया कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है if you are wrong no problem you are still in the training mode in training mode any mistake is allowed I want you guys to do mistakes as much as you can so you can learn it because in productive environment there is no chances of mistakes every mistake cost on your job but here in training you do ample number of mistakes how will you do mistakes never copy paste the code. Never copy paste the code, guys. If you are copy pasting the code, you are cheating yourself. And believe me, any trainer you see online, if the trainer is doing copy paste of code, they are cheating you. They are cheating you. This is one of the best formula I have built over years to experience myself how to judge a trainer. If a trainer is teaching you copy paste, they are cheating you. They are not teaching you. Okay, coming back, I can say refresh. And now watch out. I can say Mr. India. It will disappear slowly in 6 seconds. And then I will do fade in. It will slowly make it appear once again in 6 seconds. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There you go. You can see the elements coming back on the screen. Suppose I want to give now a chaining. So see what happens when you do chaining. Fade out. And then I want to do fade in. So let's say fade in. Immediately after that in 3 seconds. Now it will first disappear, then it will appear. First fade out is applied. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 fade out happened. And now 1, 2, and 3. It has come back on the screen again. So that's the chaining impact on the fade out and fade in. Now guys, the next interesting concept which I also taught you a glimpse of that concept in the last class, the asynchronous function, the non-blocking IO, how JavaScript works, asynchronous function, non-blocking IO, the concept of callback function. Guys, when we call a jQuery effect, we can also use a callback function. This function gets called once the effect is over. You don't have to wait because JavaScript is asynchronous non-blocking IO. It doesn't wait for function to complete. It just continues, right? That's why what we will do is we will use a callback function. Suppose you want to do something after a function is completed, after a jQuery function is complete. Let's say fade out. Example, once the fade out effect is complete, okay? Once the fade out effect is complete, please show a pop-up to me. Okay, that's what I want. Once the fade out effect is complete, please show a pop-up to me. How can I do that? How can you do that? If you try to think you will do this in a synchronous programming like you had been doing in ABAP or any other programming language, you are wrong. It will not work that way. So watch out. If I write a pop-up here, alert, okay, effect is over. It's incorrect. So this is a typical programmer mindset. You guys write one line, then you write next line. What do you think will happen? This alert will trigger much before the effect itself gets over because JavaScript is non-blocking IO, asynchronous processing. JavaScript call this line. The line is still processing 6 seconds, 3 seconds. These are not over yet. It immediately moves to the next line. It immediately shows you the pop-up. Immediately. Effect is still running. It immediately shows you the pop-up. Let me show you. Come back. Refresh. Don't forget to refresh. Mr. India. Click on that and you see immediately the pop-up have come. You see effect is over. But effect didn't even start. I didn't even see it fade out. Yeah. Effect is already over. You see. Then effect takes place. So I want to do this pop-up only when the effect is complete. What do we use? We use callback function. What is the syntax? Where do we put callback function? So typically the syntax of callback looks like below. So you have dollar, of course your selector, dot some action, some time in millisecond, and then you have callback function as an argument here passed. So this gentleman here is your callback function, which will only get called once the effect is complete. It won't get called automatically normally. This will get only called once the effect is over. Then only it will get called. Okay. This is your callback function. Okay. This is your callback function. It won't get called until unless the effect is not complete. This is another example of callback function similar to what we saw the other day. The set timeout. Set timeout mein that function was called once the timer was over. Time was over. 3 seconds was over. The function got called. Here it gets called automatically once the effect gets over. So let's come back and test it. I want to say, hey, can you alert me once in effect is over? So I can say comma and I can write a callback function. It's an anonymous function. Inside this, I'll say alert. So please do let me know. Please give me a pop-up once this 6 second is over and once this 3 second is over. Please do let me know. That's what your callback function. Refresh. And now let's click on Mr. India. Watch out, it's first applying effect. 6 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3 seconds to bring it back. And once that is over, then only callback triggers. You see, effect is over now. So that's the right way of coding when it comes to working with the callback, guys. So you should never put direct alert here. If you do that, it's wrong actually. Your code will trigger much before the effect is over. Is you understood how JavaScript works? Non-blocking IO, asynchronous processing. So once this asynchronous task is complete, then only do this. That's how JavaScript works. Now with this example, I want to show some interesting stuff. So maybe so many of you must be liking dancing the way I like. I like so much of dancing, so I want my input fields to dance. So what I want to do, I say button and I say on click equals to show me moves, and then I say dancing fields. I want to do a dancing input field. I will just go and create this function, show me moves, and just come here, get the function. And now when I click on this button, I want to show some moves. I want to make my input field dance. So you see I have an input field here. Maybe I will create another input field for password. So let me just create another input field. Okay, see that here. Username input field, password. I want to make them dancing. So when I click on this input field should start dancing. Yeah. Or I want to probably show you some blink effect. Yeah. So I want to show you some effect where my these boxes should start blinking. Yellow, brown, yellow, brown, yellow, brown, yellow, brown, or yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. I want to do that. Okay. How can we do that? So let's come to the function show me moves. And here I'm going to change the CSS. So let me say dollar and I say box hyphen, what was the class name, guys? Box hyphen description, DESC. Yes. I want to say change CSS and make the background color black. And once this is done, okay, once this is done, I want to do some effect. So I can say dot. I'm not sure whether we have a callback function for dot CSS method. Let me just check that out. Or we can also do a quick fade in method. Okay, I'm just doing a fade in method, guys, after this. So I just come here and I just do a fade in method dot fade in at the 0. Immediately do the fade in, please, and then call the callback function. In this callback function, now I'm going to invoke another function. Okay, I'm going to call in another function, and this time is a function recursion. Function recursion is actually a method where you call function by itself. Yeah, so I'll say start the blink. Start the blink. Let's create the start the blink on the top. And in this start the blink, I'm going to do something interesting. I will again change the background color to yellow. And once the effect is over, once this first CSS is over, I'm going to call another CSS. And I'll say background color yellow. So watch out here, guys, what is happening. So I say start the blink. You can actually do start the blink also, where you can say whenever I come in this show me move method, I change the color to black. Once the black color is over, I'm doing a fade in so that I can use callback function. And then I start this callback function. This callback function goes here And this callback function starts another effect. CSS change the color back to yellow. Once this is done with the chaining, I'm going to change the color black to back to black. And once this is over, I'll do a fade in with 0 seconds with function again calling the same function. This is function recursion. Okay. Now what will happen here? System will keep calling the same function, start the blink, start the blink, start the blink, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, start the blink, yellow, black, and this whole thing won't block your input output. Okay, so in typical programming, if you do this, you can't control the screen, you can't move your mouse, you can't do anything on screen. JavaScript is non-blocking IO. JavaScript runs this whole thing in a separate thread. Yeah, so you can still continue working with UI. Your user input will not stop. That's the beauty of JavaScript. Let me save this, come back and refresh the page, and let's say show me some moves, and I click on that, and you would see system would start a call, asynchronous call on the box title, changing the background color, and then it calls this particular function in the function recursion mode. Okay, that's what system does. Okay, there's some problem. Fade in method 0 second is not allowed, I guess. So let's put 100 just for the usage of this feature of callback function of this function. Refresh and let's try again. Something is wrong. Page is unresponsive. Let's try one more time. And let's say dancing fields. Something is wrong. System is not working as expected. So let me just do toggle. Not fading. You can see, guys, it's changing something, but it's doing so fast, the black yellow, that is because of that you're seeing like this. They are like, moving and dancing so much. Now maybe I just go back and make this increase delay to maybe 1 second, so we can see this effect properly in 1 second or 2 seconds. Yeah, so make it 2 seconds so that it is not so fast. We can actually observe the effect. Can refresh and start dancing, and you see now, and there you go. It's actually changing the color in every 2 seconds. It's hiding the element and it's showing the element, hiding the element and showing when it is hiding the element, that time the color has been changed to yellow. So while it is displaying this, it's showing it in the black. While it is hiding, it's shown change in the yellow. But actually, I am unable to show you the yellow. But at least you can see the objects are hiding, displaying, hiding, displaying, hiding, displaying, and they are like dancing. So this is how they do the effects on internet. They don't do any magic. So this is how you can see my input fields are hiding, displaying, hiding, displaying, hiding, displaying, and as a result of that, you can see the color is being changing for the elements. Okay, actually I can't show you the color changing here in this case. It's just making the yellow, immediately the black, immediately it's making black, and then it's doing the toggle, and again it's calling making yellow, immediately it's making black. Yeah, that's why you are unable to see the color change. It's happening so fast you can't see the color change at least, but you see the toggle means hide and show, hide and show, hide and show. So it's hiding, showing, hiding, showing, and as a result of that you see elements in 1 second getting hidden and getting displayed, and they are dancing on the UI. I hope it is clear. You can actually ignore the effect of color. You can immediately just look at this toggle feature. Toggle feature actually, if the element is hidden, it will make element visible. If the element is visible, it will make element hidden. So you can just simplify the code like this. So right now you can see they are just dancing effects. So toggle 2 second, whatever, if it is displayed, hide it. Immediately after that callback function, start the blink. In the blink, just keep doing toggle in 2 seconds, and it keep calling the same function, toggle, 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 toggle. If it is hidden, display. If it is displayed, hidden. That's your dancing effect, which you can see on the UI with the help of jQuery. And in the meantime, I can also work, if I can catch my input field, it's dancing so much. If I can catch my input field and I can start working my input field, I can do clicks, I can do things whichever I like. You can see I can do these things because it's non-blocking IO, guys. It's non-blocking IO. Clear, everybody? That's how jQuery works. Okay, let's come back. Just refresh that. That's dancing effect. Now, suppose I want to do some more effect. The last effect which we have is something called animate effect. Animate effect can change the width and height of an element at runtime. Okay, you can do that pretty easily. So let me show you. What I'll do is I will create an image. So let me create an image control. So come down and image with src property of image, and then we have alternate text. Refresh. Okay, reference broken. You can see reference broken for the image. And now what we do is we're just going to get an image here. We're just going to get an image from images, and I say fighter. There you go. Now what I want is when I hover on my mouse on this image, the image should become bigger. When I take my mouse back, image should become smaller. Yeah. Hover the mouse, image becomes bigger. Take my mouse back, image becomes smaller. I want to do that. So for that, watch out here. The moment your page loads, I want to trigger a JavaScript because I want to apply an effect dynamically. So initially when you see here, there's no dynamic effect. So I want to apply effect dynamically. So I will say, hey, can you run this script immediately for me? So I'm writing a script here directly. This script gets executed immediately the moment my page starts. I'll say dollar document dot ready. Once my page is loaded, once my page is loaded, call this function. Are you clear with the line number one? Document.ready. This is a ready-made API with jQuery. Document, you all know the DOM object. I am saying once my DOM object is ready, please call this function. Is this line clear, everybody? The first line, is that clear to everybody? What we are doing, we say to the page, once the page is loaded, do something. What is that something I'm doing? Now I'll select my image control. So dollar, I can use right now based on this img itself. The tag name dot on mouse over. Whenever I take my mouse onto this, please call this function. It's an event I'm applying. Is the second line clear to all of you? So find an image element and attach a function for event called on mouse over. This is a ready-made method, ready-made event. This gentleman is a ready-made event provided by jQuery. Whenever mouse is going on top of this control, do something. Let's do an alert on that. Okay, that's what we're doing. Let's try this, at least this much. I refresh and now I take my mouse onto the image. It's not happening. On mouse over on my image, it's not taking me to it. You see? So once document is ready, all the image elements apply on mouse over. Is this the right event name? I think it's not on mouse over, it is just mouse over. Let me try this. Yes, guys, cool. It's not on mouse over, it is mouse over. Whenever I mouse over on image, show me a pop-up. You see now mouse took over image. See the pop-up is coming, guys. Wow. It has applied an event immediately after the document was ready to now display you this pop-up message on the UI. On mouse over. Mouse took over the image. Now inside this, what we do. Here, after you take the mouse over the image, inside this now, what I will say is, I want to apply a jQuery effect. On what I want to apply? I want to apply on the current element. So dollar this means current element. Display height. Suppose you have 5 images here. Suppose you have 5 images. Okay. I have applied event on all 5 images. This one applies in event on all 5 images. All five. Now which image you want to enlarge? Anyone? Which image you want to enlarge? The image on which you take mouse. If I take my mouse on this image should enlarge. If I take my mouse on this image should enlarge. Which means this. This means current object. The object on which the mouse is being taken. So that's how you can use this pointer here. It's a current object. Dot animate. Please animate. What to do is the width to 500 pixels and change the height to also 500 pixels. And once this effect is over, call the callback function, bring it back to its original state. Okay, bring it back to its original state, which is again animate. So dollar. So you see, this is how nesting is little complicated, but that's how we can do things up with jQuery. And now I'll say width and height back to its original width and height, which was 300 pixels. Just gonna make it 300 pixels again. Once the effect is over, please bring it back to its normal position. Guys, this is the magic now you can see jQuery can do for you. If you understood this example, very easy to work with jQuery. Let's come back and watch out. I take my mouse, watch out. I take my mouse on the image and you see images become larger, 500 pixels. Yeah, that's the beauty, guys. That's how the jQuery effect works. It has become larger. So the moment you take your mouse onto the image, it becomes 500 pixels. Okay, on mouse out, on mouse over, you can similarly have an effect on mouse out, and in that actually this callback function is not functioning here. I can ignore it. I can ignore that callback function for time being. Just check if my objects are proper. Yeah, so currently the callback function is not functioning. It's just, you see, just is enlarging the image. Now I want to reduce it down, so another event I will apply. When I take my mouse out, please bring it back to 300 pixels. And mouse goes out of the object, please bring it back to 300. Watch out now. On mouse over become 500, take mouse back becomes 300 again. Take in, take out, take in, take out. This is how they do on Gmail, Facebook. You might have seen an image becomes enlarged. When you take mouse, image becomes bigger. When you take out the mouse, it becomes smaller. That's how they do things on internet. No magic, guys. It's all the magic of CSS along with jQuery. Animate function in jQuery, guys. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so that's about jQuery effects. The last thing which is I'm not going to talk in this course, but just for your information, we saw making a server request in the last class using form submit. It's an interview question people will ask you usually. What are all the ways a client can make call to server? The first one is form submit. We all saw that in the HTML unit. The second technique is AJAX call. You can do that using jQuery, $.ajax, $.get, $.post. These are all the methods which jQuery provides you to make a call to the server. We are not using these methods in SAP UI5 because in SAP UI5 we use OData services, and for that reason we use OData model rather than AJAX call directly. But the people who are working in normal internet-based project, website development, they use this type of calls to make a call to the server. Okay, they use this type of calls to make a call to server. Those who work in website development. Clear, everybody? So if you are working on website development, that's where these calls will be helpful. They are called AJAX call. Third is called HTTP request using HTML document object. This is another thing. W3C provides an HTTP request class which you can use to create an instance of HTTP request and make a call to the server. These are all three techniques. Interview, guys. This is an interview question. I told you jQuery has this advantage also. Just for information, maybe helpful, maybe not. But yeah, this is something which is an interview question I wanted to cover as part of this. With that, it's a wrap on today's class. jQuery comes to an end. In tomorrow's session onwards, we'll start real action, our actual SAP UI5 framework. With this, I announce 25% completion of our course, which is the first phase of the course. If you remember, in the demo, I told you there are 4 phases. The first phase gets over here. The first phase of our course, Foundation for UI5, which is HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. We have given a closure. From tomorrow's class, we will start real fun with SAP UI5. Okay. So loop, if you loop, there is no need to do loop. Loop is still with jQuery. If you want to do loop, so it is still with JavaScript. For loop we have in JavaScript, we will use that for loop. We don't have a looping here in jQuery actually. There is also possibility. Yes, there is a way to loop. It's called $.each. Okay. There is actually a syntax. Yes, there is a looping mechanism also. It's called $.each, but we don't use it much. Okay, this is used for looping purpose. Let me show you the syntax. Where can you find the syntax? Of course, guys, it's W3C schools. W3C for all these basic learning. W3C schools is the best place to learn. You can go here, learn HTML, CSS, and then you can learn JavaScript and jQuery. You see, jQuery. And now you see, we use just now $document ready. So like this, you can see fade out, fade in, slide. A lot of functions are there with jQuery. Events, effects. You see effect functions, all the effect functions, all the traversing functions for traversing the DOM object. Yeah. So similarly, there must be some looping functions. I'm not sure. I'd like to check. I've never used it, but I've seen, yeah, this one. This is a looping function, execute function for each matched element. Yeah, you can see this one. बटन क्लिक किया तो सारे li निकाल के उन सब पे लूप कर रहा है वन बाय वन. It's looping on each li. So $selector, then looping on each li element one by one. It's going to call this callback function, and inside this you can see $this, which means each UI element का text print करो. Okay. Print the text of each li element. You can want to try copy this piece of code. You can test directly in the browser. Suppose I come back to our app and I will say I want to print this text. Each box title I want to print. Press F12. You want to print each box title? It's very easy. Come back here. $selector. What is your selector? Dot box hyphen title, and please loop each of these elements. So $each, and then I say function. Each element is going to call the callback function, which element it finds, and I say $this, the current object, dot text, and just print this text in the console. So I can say console.log, and you see what is HTML, what is CSS, what is JS. It's printing all three. This is how you loop using jQuery. Yeah, easy. Just by looking at example, you can quickly learn the basics and then you can move on and fix it things up. Hope that answer your question. I never used it. Today your question made me use it. Yeah. Learn the techniques, guys. Don't be biased. Don't be biased with the example. Learn the techniques. If you understood the concept, you can apply it anywhere, wherever you like, because there are infinite number of use cases which is impossible for anyone to cover and understand. But you should know the concept. If you know the concept, you can easily do things up pretty nicely. Many of you are mainly ABAPers. Do any one of you can claim that you know 100% ABAP? Anyone? Can you claim that you know 100% ABAP? Impossible. Why? You may not know ABAP. Each variant, data variant, select option, selection parameter, each has so many options. But you know how to use ABAP. That's why you're able to code with ABAP and achieve anything you like. Same thing applies here. Impossible to know anything in complete. But if you understand how it works, you can utilize that wherever you like. You can use it. Okay. Cool. Any other questions before we close? Lines are open. You can ask your question on the line as well. Those who have joined class for the first time, I would request you to please go and watch the videos of missed classes. You've missed some important chapters. You got to watch the videos so that you can be very good at it. Yes, Sayed.
I have a question. Like, what is I was looking into something like dot inner and capital HTML. What is that?
Inner text. Okay. What is that does? Okay. Let's say this particular element. I want to change this text. Okay. This whole thing I want to change the text at runtime. How can I do that? Right click, inspect the element. Just get its ID is not there, so I'm just going to get its based on class name. So just get that. I can say the document dot get elements by class name, and it gives me an array. I will go to the second element, which is index 1. It hits exactly the second element. Yeah. And now I can use this element object dot inner text. उसके अंदर का text क्या है? What is written inside that element? This is what is written. And I'll say please change it.
And can we make this equal to some other var, other variable?
Yes, why not? Why not? Absolutely can do that. You see, I just changed also this whole text. You see, Anubhav is here. I
Yeah.
when you see it got
Yeah.
on the UI. You can play around with it. You see, X has now this whole thing, and you can do now string operation. X dot substring of I want to get a substring starting from 0th position to 6 characters, and there you go. Anubha it printed. I want 7. Anubha it printed. You can do substring now on this variable.
Because I was trying to do a table like where you do the input and then that will input the song and the singer name. I was able to create the input fields, which was easy. I was able to create the cell like 0 and then start and making it entry into the uh, one cell, one cell row, one
The
cell
solution
two.
of this is already provided. Many of you have sent me the solution. I've reviewed
Yeah.
all your solutions. Thank you so much, guys. And I can show you there the solution. It was provided by Shri. So let me just open that from a training blog, and you can come down and see here uh, the solution of JS exercise here. You see, Shri Devi has provided that JS exercise. Please look at that if you want to check how she has done.
No, I was just doing my own stuff,
Yes, please do that.
thinking.
No problem. Please break your time in these things. More you burn yourself, more you will learn. So this is the
At least
time.
I now I know how to create an element and to get the idea
Yeah,
of the element. The simple thing,
perfect,
even
perfect, no
slowly.
problem. Perfect.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
please do that. So guys, Indian Army has a very important line which they usually say: if you sweat in peace, if you sweat more in peace, you will bleed less in war. It applies to everybody. If you sweat more in peace, not peace. If you sweat more in peace, you will bleed less in war. Same thing applies to you. If you sweat more in practice during training, you will have less issues in production. Even though you have an issue in production, you can quickly fix it up. Quickly you can fix it up, guys, because you have that power in your hand. That's the beauty. Cool. Vivek Joshi, do you have a question? I saw you unmuted your line last time.
No, I do not have a question. I was just trying to say thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Dan, for joining today's class, everyone. See you tomorrow at the same time. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Okay, thank